this issue, recovery, or, hey, you relapsed again, it's pointless. They're going to say things that they don't mean.
That are hurtful.
Yeah, they'll apologize later for it. But the damage for you as someone who's there trying to help, the damage could be done where you're like, you know what? I'm done with this. Nope, F them or whatever. And right now, there's some people wanting some help, and that's cool. I'll do what I can. But at the end of the day, as they'll teach you in recovery coach training, if you go through that, is if somebody is saying, oh, I want to stop drinking I don't ever want to drink again. I don't want to do this, and I never want to drink again. That sounds great. But then they don't want to follow up with what needs to be done for them to do that. Mm-hmm. So, to kind of point that out to them, like, hey, I hear what you're saying. You're saying that you don't want to drink again. Yeah. But your actions aren't backing that up. Why aren't you? Like, you can go to detox 20 times and get out, and I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to put the work in once I get out of here. Yeah. That sounds good, but that never happens.
Right.
Like, we got to switch it up. And guy was wanting a ride to, was like, can you give me a ride to detox? And I'm like, I'll give you a ride to treatment, but I don't, what, you want to go to detox for what? So next week I can give you a ride back home. Mm-hmm. And then a week later you call me again. Like, what? I don't know, man. You got to figure this out on your own. Well, man, come on, man. Oh, and he started like sassing me a little bit. And I was like, all right, man, if you want to do that, you can do that. And I just kind of let him know that I'm not going to get into this with him. Like, here's where I stand. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And I told him, I was like, it's not about that. This is what it's about. You're saying all the things like you want help, but you're not doing it. So if you want to show me that you really want to do some help stuff, then I will help you. Mm-hmm. But then it's my fault. Well, Corey didn't give me a ride to detox. He's supposed to be a friend. Yeah, I'm a friend, man. Mm-hmm. But I have my life. I have my time. I have things on my plate that I'm doing. And a lot of people, and I don't know if I was this way either, think that people should just drop everything they're doing to come save me. Mm-hmm. But there are some people that are like that. And if people have been coddled their whole life or, always gotten their way and thought, scam them again, those kind of people, I just can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And individuals need to recognize, like, I'm thinking about it now from the perspective of like my mom. Whereas, you come to them over and over, like, I need this. I need this. I need you to talk to me about, I need you to help me do this. I need you to help me do this. It's exhausting for them, especially when time after time, there's no real action taken. And so, you have to recognize that, people, it's not that they don't want to help. It's that there comes a point when you need to take the bull by the horns, and you need to actually do some work to make things happen. Because just talking about what you're going to do and how miserable you are is not the responsibility, is not helpful to anybody. Not the people that we love, not our recovery coaches, not our therapist. I mean, it's good to talk about things, but people want to say rejection. It's not rejection by any means. It's like, I will hear you out, and I will, reflect on what it is that I think that you're trying to say to me. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it now? What is your plan? Because that's where the answer lies. Those are your words, not mine. I can tell you, I can explain all day long and tell you how I did it, but that doesn't mean that, it's going to get you clean and sober. It's an action thing. It's an action thing 100%. And it's an action thing once you get to rehab or once you walk into that counselor's office. That's the action too. If you just walk in and sit in a chair and think it's going to like absorb into your brain and your soul that you got sober just by being there, I mean, that'd be awesome if it worked that way. But it doesn't. And it's, that's why we always say that recovery takes work. And it is every single day I need to renew and refresh, my commitment to my recovery every day. Doesn't matter. In 5 years from now, I'll still have to do it every single day. You know, so it's not like, oh, you got it easy. You look like you don't have a problem at all. Like you don't crave it. You don't need it or think you need it. And well, I mean, yeah, I'll tell you personally, and this is just for me, that obsession has been, you know, alleviated for the most part on a daily basis. But I can't say I don't have my moments. I for sure freaking do, because I'm an alcoholic. And it's scary shit. Sorry, that's scary, but it's real, you know. And so
do you think you turned the obsession for drinking into like a different obsession?
I know where you're probably trying to go with this, and no, I don't think so.
Where am I trying to go with this?
You're probably nothing. You're going somewhere in your dirty mind realm.
Oh, my dirty mind. So you're thinking I was saying that you now have like a sex addiction?
Yeah, that's what I think you were trying to say.
Okay, well,
sorry, listeners.
I was referring to.
Don't
work.
encourage him, please.
I don't. Well, no, they probably were like, "Oh, Corey clearly was going to say like work." It's something that you've thrown yourself into, and that can be an obsession for people. And it's work. And I would say, if you're not, it's pretty close because you care about your job.
I do.
And you're just work. So that's, I mean, I don't know if you have sex at that rate. Apparently you think you do. So enough where I would bring it up.
No, I mean, yeah, I am very involved in my job, and it's not just my clocked in hours that, you know, I'm working, if that makes any sense. I think that, you know, I try to have my life reflect in my work and vice versa. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Since you work in the recovery field too, it does help because you can talk to people and kind of get that off your chest too. I know I do that. Mm-hmm. You know, I get things off my chest when I'm at work talking with people and talking with guys and, you know, listening to their problems. It's like, okay, cool. You know, like, I don't know. It does kind of help a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like little mini meetings. Yeah.
Well, and too, the beautiful piece about being in recovery and the feeling and the take that I have about myself and the stand that I'm taking about, I have nothing to hide about my recovery and the fact that I'm, you know, an alcoholic in recovery, an addict in recovery. You know, I've kind of, that shame is not, that stigma is not so present, because I've just made it clear, like, yeah, I'm in recovery. I don't drink or drug anymore. What do you want to talk about? You know, anything that they say to me probably most likely will not shock me, you know, and I've been there, you know, so I can listen to every story and situation and I can relate, you know, so I think that is a big help. And that's nothing that you're going to learn in any effing books or take in any seminars. This is straight up just living the awfulness of addiction and coming out on the other side.
When you feel like you're, you know, maybe you are going through a relapse or maybe have in the past and are thinking, man, like, how can I do this again? And you just feel like, you feel guilty. You feel like you're ashamed of yourself, you know, but you know, shame is something that other people really put on you, and then you feel ashamed. But there's nothing, I mean, it's easier said than done, but, you know, getting back up and going right back at it, meaning finding recovery and putting yourself in the situations that you need to be in. Maybe you don't want to be in. Maybe you don't want to go to a meeting every day for a month. But maybe, you know what? If that keeps you sober, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Mm-hmm. You make some new friends, you know, you get known in the recovery community. Like you have another little family away from home, not like sexual family and stuff like that. Like where you get married and have kids with other people. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Right.
Because there's people that do that too. But I'm just saying, like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, think about when you're going to treatment, if you do go to treatment, or if you go to see your therapist or your counselor, you know, put yourself in a better frame of mind. And yeah, you know, you have a problem. Well, yeah, but I'm pissed off today. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Are you going to let that keep you pissed off all day? You know, can you put that on a shelf somewhere and then like grab it when you need to talk about it? you know, and just maybe take it down, think about it a little bit and put it back, you know, like I don't like being angry. I don't like being pissed off. And it's frustrating sometimes. It really is, because there's nothing. You're like, oh, this needs to be settled. And then you realize, well, I'm the only one who can control how I feel right now. You know, somebody owe me money. Yeah, I get mad. And then I change the subject in my mind. Do they still owe me money? Does it still make me mad? But I don't have to walk around 24/7 like that.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and that's part of it too. And, you know, so if you're feeling like, oh man, I can't do it again. You know, and you're trying to reach out to some people for help, that's fine. But, you know, some people don't ever say, you have to take me to the ER. You have to take me to detox. So I don't have to do anything.
No, yeah.
I don't do anything for anybody else.
Yeah.
My wife, I have to do something for if she needs it done. But like, just a friend of mine or somebody, you know, I know, it's like, hey man, I need help. You know, you take other people to treatment. Yeah, I do. You know, but 217 Recovery gets reimbursed for that. And the reason why we're doing that is hopefully we can get enough rides so we can show, hey, look, this is what we provided. This is what we could provide if we had 5 more drivers, you know, and this is the grand scale of things. And this is, boom, this is what we want to do. And yeah, we need documentation. We need to show that, you know, and that was his little, really weak jab at me.
And the thing is, too, is I am grateful for emergency rooms. I have been a participant at going to many, many emergency rooms because of alcohol withdrawals. I actually would have seizures, which, and withdrawing from alcohol, for those of you that don't know, once again, not a doctor, but you can die from it, especially at the volume of alcohol that I was drinking. And I came very, very close multiple times. That being said, I am grateful for detox centers as well. A place where you can medically withdraw from your drug and get yourself to where you're not physically at risk for any sort of harm to your body from coming down from your drug of choice. And I'm grateful for those places. Now, that being said, too, is that those places are places to prepare you for the next step of whatever it is that is going to be geared towards your recovery. Because obviously you have a problem if you're at one of those places for drugs or alcohol. And so the next step after you leave those places is to address that. Like in what we just talked about at the beginning of this podcast. I'm not saying necessarily that's rehab. I mean, personally, that's what worked for me, but necessarily not for everyone. But what steps are you going to take to address the issues at hand? Because going somewhere to dry yourself out is all fine and good, but you need to get to the bottom of it.
But I'm not like everybody else. I can do this.
Yeah.
See, if somebody tells you that, just shake your head.
So the discouragement of when, you know, we're asked when 217 is asked for rides to detox, that's fine. But what are you planning on doing something after that? You know, so because our focus is on the big picture, on, you know, learning to live a clean and sober life. And what is it that can, you know, we can shoot you in the right direction for that. That's great. But when you literally have zero intention on doing anything other than just, you know, coming down from an awful bender, that's not what we do.
No, it's not.
So,
and you know, that's part of, you know, why we get reimbursed, is because we do take people to treatment. And yeah, we take them to detox too, usually before they go to treatment. Right. You know, but just to go, no, I just need to clean out for a minute and no, I get out. You know, that's stupid. You know, like, I'm not going to waste my time, you know, friend or not. It's my time. This is, you know, and yeah, you can only help somebody so much. You know, it's kind of like they say, if somebody's drowning, you know, don't jump in after them. You're going to drown yourself, you know, like, be safe for yourself. And, you know, with me in my recovery, I have to hold that high above everything else. And if somebody wants to, you know, throw little weak ass jabs at me about, oh, well, you do it for people that pay you. That's what it is, the money. Okay, that's a weak jab. It didn't even land. You know, like, I don't even have time for this. That's, you know, when I was talking to him the other day, it's just like, that's what you want to do. That's where you want to go. I'm not doing it, you know. But until they're ready, you know. But if say if I did, okay, I'll run in the car and I'll come